Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to Holy Plot. This is Liam, Jacob, and James, and today we are going to be talking about Adventure Time with Fionna and Cake, the first season, which just concluded on, I almost said HBO Max, that's not right. Spoiler alert, we loved it. We made a video reviewing the final 2 episodes. Go ahead and check that out if you haven't already, then come back here for our final thoughts. Before we do anything, make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe, because why not? You like us, right? You're nearing a parasocial relationship.
Think about it. If you subscribe now, you can be a part of the Double Digit Club, which is exclusive, and it's fleeting. You might miss it.
Slots are running out. It's true.
They are.
You can say you were here.
One of the original plot holes. Come on, join.
You revealed the name.
Yeah, the first draw.
Anyway. We loved it, man. If you haven't seen it, I'll just go ahead and start us off here. If you haven't seen it, and you're a fan of Adventure Time, and you're, for some alien reason, holding out because you think it's like a goofball spinoff, what the hell are you doing, man? Go watch it. It's amazing. I think, as far as like the whole grand scheme of the show, including like Distant Lands, this is some of my favorite stuff they've ever done. It's just,
Agreed. Yeah.
It's taking the Adventure Time stuff that you love, either as a kid or if you watched it as an adult, like Jacob, or just getting into it. It takes what you love about the show, which is it's mature but goofy. It tackles themes, but it's not like depressing. It's got fun characters, but they're not like robots. It takes all that and it cranks it up to 11. This is the most adult-focused and mature this universe has ever been.
Absolutely, man.
Yes.
It knocks it way out of the park. I mean, I loved this show. I think I gave pretty much every episode either an 8 or a 9. It never got to 10 for me, which I don't know what that's all about. I think it missed like there wasn't like a big.
There wasn't like a Simon and Marceline for me in the.
Yeah, like
Yes.
it was amazing, but there wasn't a moment where like my jaw hit the floor. That being said, I mean, it was great. It was great. Especially if you're a fan of Simon and the Ice King and his arc, we talked about it a little bit in our episode review. It's just what it does for his character and sort of his relationship with Betty that is evolved over the course of the show, and you kind of see him dealing with it and struggling to let go. I mean, it's pretty much the most satisfying thing they could have done with his character, in my opinion. So for that reason alone, it's worth a watch. But then this show made me a fan of the characters of Fionna and Cake. Their arcs as well, especially Fionna.
Yeah.
With sort of like, to me, it reads as sort of like an anti-escapism, find adventure and things to care about and love in your real life versus being over idyllic and wishing you were somewhere else. Like that stuff, it was so well executed, and the whole season is just such a logical and I almost want to say like carefully done evolution of her character, where you can see like why she feels this way at the beginning, and then you go on this adventure with her, and then by the time you get to the end, you can understand like she would fight for this world and her friends. So I loved it, guys. What do you think?
Well, I can share a pretty unique perspective on this because I basically had no exposure to Adventure Time before this show aired. The reason why I've been AFK for the past 4 videos is because I was catching up. So I kind of did come at this at a bit of a new perspective. And while sometimes I was confused, I didn't really feel like it ever like deprived me of like enjoying this show. So if you're new into Adventure Time, I don't know, like leave a comment. We'll tell you some episodes to watch, and definitely watch this show. It was enjoyable as a newcomer. You don't need to be like these guys, particularly Liam, where he grew up with it. Like I have always been like a regular show guy, and watching this was very satisfying. And my main point that I want to make is with a show like Regular Show, I don't really think you could pull off like a spin-off about a couple of random characters. But with Adventure Time, it oftentimes in the show itself kind of has like mini spin-offs where it's not like forced to stick by its main 2 leads. It's pretty comfortable expanding outside of that. So I kind of understand why it's so ripe for all these spin-offs that they're making, and I thought it was very enjoyable. And no exception to the rest of the show. I mean, it kind of just felt like more Adventure Time, which I guess is exactly what you want.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that, for one thing, what Liam said, that it was a bit anti-escapism. I thought it was a fantastic message for Adventure Time to take on in this way with this much time to tell the story. As I've said before, I think a lot of the shifts to a more mature rating, to longer run times, I thought it made it feel fresh. And I thought that I am so burnt out on multiverse stories. I didn't even feel that way about this show because it did something that Jacob, I think you've said before on this channel, which is that multiverse stories should be used to provide insight and context to the characters that we know, to learn new things about them, kind of through contrast.
Yeah.
I thought the show did a great job with that. A standout for that was The Star with Marceline and Simon, and seeing how much of a difference Simon made in Marceline's life. I thought that was a standout episode. But yeah, Fiona and her voice actor were definitely a standout. She stood shoulder to shoulder with Simon, who's this franchise's best character. I thought that was very impressive. And then I enjoyed a lot of the multiverse adventures. Brian David Gilbert, who I watched on YouTube, was great as the Winter King. The Lich came back.
Oh, yeah.
And then I thought that it was a really good conclusion.
Do we think it's conclusive, though? This is the question.
I would say yes. I would.
It's so funny. I kind of hinted at it in the episode reviews for the finale. I flipped. I was like, I want 5 seasons. And now I'm like, this was such a good singular story that wrapped up so well. I would either want a second season that has Fionna and Cake paired with a new character, or I'm just okay for them to move on to another project. I want more Adventure Time.
Yeah.
It maybe doesn't have to be season 2 because this was such a good miniseries. I almost don't want it messed with. But I want more. There's more. I think there's more to tell in this universe, especially if they find cool ways to mix things up like this show.
I'm pretty much with you there. I also want more Adventure Time, but I came away so satisfied with these characters that I feel like if we thrust Fionna and Cake like right back into the shit. I mean, I trust the writers. I think they could pull it off, but like see where they came from and where they are now.
I have one small asterisk on this entire point. So
oh boy.
I was doing a little bit of research, and there is no season 2 confirmation or chatter.
No, there is not.
The show is incredibly successful, so I imagine that they're thinking about it. And I know this is some next level speculative stuff here, but the album for the show was released.
And this.
It's the album for the show was released, and it says season 1 on it. So
all right.
Yeah, that kind of implies there's more than one season, in my opinion.
I saw that, and I was wondering too.
Do we want to give our ratings on the season?
Yeah, I'm going to give this a 9 bomb.
I'm with you. I'm also feeling a strong 9, closer to a 10 than an 8.
I'm going to give the show a 10. I think it's fantastic.
Damn.
Wow.
Well, we're in a good age of animation, you know? I feel like
it's finding its way.
Yeah, animation was kind of dead for like a couple of years, and then here comes Holy Plot. So get ready.
We manifested it into existence.
Yeah, to keep the channel alive, the big execs in Hollywood pumped out some more animation content. It's been really good though, and I'm excited to keep watching more Adventure Time. And thank you guys for supporting these videos so much. Honestly, I had a drop in my heart when My Adventure Superman ended. I'm like, oh god, what are we gonna do? But these videos were somehow more successful. You know, first video has 1,000 views, and I'm really excited about that. So thank you very much. Unless you guys got anything.
Just a huge thank you for the 1,000 views on the last review. Thank you guys so much.
We're just getting started, don't worry.
Just getting started.
Yeah, thank you very much, Richard, for starting the video and then playing it at 2 times speed and putting it on repeat and then going to file your taxes and sleep. And then I think you even got married actually while it was playing. That means a lot, man. Those views are all you. So thanks, dude. I'll get you like a sandwich or something when you're in town.
Richard Holy Plot. Yeah, thank you.
All right. That's all I got. Let's get out of here.
Okay. Thank you, Betty. Good night.